There are days when your mind searches for solutions almost automatically. Questions line up. Loose ends ask for attention. Thoughts move quickly toward resolution. This tendency often comes from care, from responsibility, from a desire to understand and to move forward in a meaningful way. But not everything needs to be solved today. Some experiences are still forming. They are not problems yet. They are processes. Trying to resolve everything too soon can create more tension than relief, especially for a mind that sees many layers at once. You may notice an urge to make sense of things immediately, to label feelings, to draw conclusions, to decide what something means. This urge is understandable. Clarity can feel like safety, but clarity cannot be forced. Some understanding arrives only after time has passed, after distance creates perspective, after emotions have settled enough to be seen clearly. You are allowed to pause the search for answers, to let questions remain open, to acknowledge uncertainty without rushing to close it. Uncertainty does not mean you are failing. It often means something is still unfolding. You may feel uncomfortable leaving things unresolved, as if unfinished thoughts are asking something of you, as if you are neglecting an important task. But not all inner activity requires action. Some questions are meant to rest. Some insights appear only when effort stops. You do not need to push clarity into existence. You can allow it to come to you. Today can be about presence rather than progress, about noticing rather than fixing, about allowing rather than directing. You may notice how often you carry problems with you, even when nothing can be done in the moment. This constant mental engagement can be exhausting. Setting something down does not mean abandoning it. It means trusting that it will still be there when you return. Your mind does not forget what matters. It remembers without being pressured. There may be a belief that if you stop thinking about something, it will go wrong. That vigilance is necessary to prevent mistakes. This belief often develops in environments where being alert was required, where attention meant safety. But constant vigilance is not the same as wisdom. Wisdom knows when engagement is useful, and when rest allows better understanding later. You are allowed to give your mind a break from responsibility, to let it move without direction for a while, to exist without monitoring every thought. Nothing bad happens when you stop solving for a moment. You may notice subtle changes when effort softens, breathing becomes easier, muscles release tension, thoughts lose some urgency. These shifts are signs of regulation, of your system moving out of constant readiness. Problems often feel smaller when they are no longer carried continuously. You do not need to be prepared for everything at once. You do not need to anticipate every outcome. Today does not require conclusions. Some things need to be felt before they can be understood. Some experiences need to settle before meaning becomes clear. You may notice that answers come more easily after rest, after distraction, after allowing your attention to move elsewhere. This is not avoidance, it is integration. You are not irresponsible for postponing solutions. You are responsive to timing. Timing matters. There are moments for analysis and moments for letting things be. Today can be one of the latter. You may feel guilt when you stop trying to fix things, as if you are neglecting an obligation, as if effort is always required. But effort is not always the right response. Sometimes presence is enough. You are allowed to let today be incomplete, to leave questions unanswered, to accept that not everything will make sense right now. You do not need to resolve your life in one day. You do not need to understand everything you feel. Nothing needs to be solved today. This does not mean solutions will never come. It means they are not demanded right now. You are allowed to trust that understanding unfolds in layers. That clarity often appears quietly, without force. You may notice that when you stop pushing for answers, something inside you relaxes. A sense of spaciousness returns. That space is not emptiness. It is possibility. Possibility for insight to emerge naturally, for perspective to shift on its own. You do not need to control that process. You are allowed to rest your mind from the task of fixing. Nothing is being taken away from you by letting today remain unresolved. Your capacity to understand remains intact. Your ability to respond remains available. You are simply choosing not to use them right now. And that choice is allowed. Nothing needs to be solved today. For now, it is enough to be present with what is, without asking it to become something else.